students. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, that is combustion and flame, we had discussed about that of the combustion. You see students, in case of a combustion, we have seen that what are the different kind of a combustion, what combustion is, and on what basis it is divided into different types. So if we saw about the combustion students, so we have seen that there are substances which burn very fast or which burn, that is known as a combustible, and there are substances which do not burn, that is known as a non-combustible substances. Now on the basis that how they show the process of combustion, it means whether they are showing the combustion very fast or slow, we have divided them into rapid combustion or slow combustion. So there are substances which used to show the slow combustion, and such kind of substances we are call them as a slow combustible substances. And there are substances which even when you kept it or when you give a small amount of a heat, it will burn, and that kind of a combustion, that kind of a combustion process is called as the rapid combustion. So slow combustion is there, rapid combustion is there. Also we have seen here one thing, and that is spontaneous combustion. So if you talk about the spontaneous, so basically what happened, that when you supply heat, then without supplying heat, when you keep an object as it is, what will happen, if it will get automatically burn when it come in contact with that of the oxygen without giving an external supply of a heat, such kind of a combustion is called as the spontaneous combustion. Okay, then we have seen that basically combustion is also of a two type, and that is incomplete combustion and complete combustion. Complete combustion is that in which there is a sufficient supply of oxygen is there, and when there is a sufficient supply of oxygen, so you can imagine then what will happen, that the substance will be burned easily. It will burn completely with emission of heat, emission of light, and carbon dioxide. So these all three will be emitted if it is a complete combustion. What happens in case of an incomplete combustion? So in case of an incomplete combustion, when a substance is burned in an inefficient of oxygen, means not sufficient oxygen is there, less amount of oxygen is there, then it will show the incomplete combustion. So basically if the oxygen is less and the fuel is more, so ultimately what will happen, that half of the or more than that of the fuel will be burned, while left of the fuel will remain as it is. So we will say that such kind of a combustion will be incomplete combustion. Now what happened here? First of all, less amount of a heat and light will be released. As we have seen in case of a complete combustion, more amount of a heat will be generated. But here, less amount of a heat will be released, as well as carbon monoxide will also release along with the incomplete combustion. So in case of a complete combustion, remember that it is always carbon dioxide, but in case of a incomplete combustion, it is the carbon monoxide. So this is all we have understood in case of a combustion. Now let us move on and see the next topic of this chapter, and that is called as flame. So what is a flame? Let me write the definition here, that flame is the reason. It is the reason where the combustion of vapor, vapors or a fuel takes place. So basically what happens, flame is what? It is that reason where the combustion of the fuel occur in the form of a vapor. Basically what happened, all the different kind of gases, they burn with the flame. Okay, not only this, students, when you burn any of the fuel, it will burn with that of the flame. So what is a flame? Flame is that particular reason where the combustion of the vapor of the fuel takes place. It means the combustion of the fuel, when it is start taking place in the form of the vapor, that is actually called as the flame. So this is the definition of the flame, that flame is the reason where the combustion of the vapor of the fuel takes place. Moving on and see that basically what happened. If we talk about the gases, so all gases, they used to burn with the flame. Okay, all gases burn with the flame. Now what happened with that of the liquid, students? So if we talk about the liquids and solid, when we will provide a sufficient amount of a temperature, it will first of all get converted into vapor and finally will show the flame. Okay, so even if it is a gas, it will burn with the flame. If it is a solid or a liquid, it will first of all get converted into vapor form and then show the flame. So we can write it that liquids and solid which vaporizes on heating, by producing flame. Okay, also produce a flame. Okay, so if it is a gas, it will burn with the flame. If it is a solid or that of the liquid, that will also vaporizes. It will also, when you supply heat to it, when you burn it, when it shows the combustion, at that time also it will produce the flame. So either it can be liquid, it can be solid or a gas, all of them will show the flame while showing the process of the combustion here. Now, if we talk about, student, in case of the liquid, so you see, we can take an example of a kerosene oil. So what will happen when you burn a kerosene oil? So it will help when you burn it, when you use it as a fuel, it will burn with the flame. Okay, so kerosene oil is there, petrol is also there, that will also show. If you talk about the coal, which is the solid, so when you supply a heat, it will also burn with the flame. Okay, so we can write it here, and that is so we can write it here, example, students, kerosene oil. Okay, if we talk about the kerosene oil here, or wax. So kerosene oil is what? It is a liquid fuel. And what about the wax? Wax is a solid fuel. Okay, but when burnt, converts into vapor with the flame. Okay, burns to vapor and with the flame. Okay, so we can say that it burns with the flame. Okay, So if it is a kerosene oil or it is a wax, both of them you can see it is a liquid fuel. So first of all, we said that if we talk about any of the gases, students, so gases, you know that it burn with the flame, but it is not only the gases but other fuels also that include the liquid or the solid fuel. When we burn it, it will also burn with the flame. So we can say that either it is a kerosene oil or it is a wax, it will get converted into vapor first and finally it will burn with the flame. Now it totally depends upon the color of the flame also depends upon their ignition temperature. Okay, so we can write it that here are some of the condition while burning, because they are burning with the flame. So what kind of a color of the flame will be totally depend upon the type of a substance, means type of a combustible substance, type of a burning supply which we are giving to it. So we can write it that the color of the flame depends upon the nature of burning substance, then also depends upon the amount of air supply and temperature. Now, you see student, this is very important because you see that whenever the question will be asked that the color of the flame, because if any object is burning, it will burn with the flame. Either it can be a blue or it can be a yellow. Okay, so it totally depends upon the kind of a substance it is, kind of a burning substance it is. Also, it depends that amount of air which is to be supplied, which we are supplying to the to that of the burning substance, to that of the substance, as well as the amount of temperature. So we can say that the nature of the burning substance, it depends upon all these. The color of the flame, it depends upon the nature of the burning substance, what kind of a substance it is. Okay, then we will also see the amount of air which we are supplying. If it is a sufficient amount of a supply of oxygen is there, then it will burn with a blue flame. And if low amount of oxygen will be there, so obviously it will show the incomplete combustion, and thus there will be a yellow flame. And also the kind of a temperature we are providing. Okay, so these all are the very important factors on which the color of the flame depend upon. Now, we have seen that the color of the flame, so on the basis of that, we had divided the flame also into different types. Okay, so we can write it types of flame. Now here, the color of the flame also depend upon the amount of air supply. So amount of air supply, it means the amount of oxygen which is available to them. Now you see students that if we are saying that of the type of the flame here, so remember that type of a flame here we have divided the type of a flame on the basis of the availability of the oxygen. It means how much amount of air we are supplying to that particular substance so that it will burn with the particular color of the flame. Okay, so on the basis of the oxygen availability, we have divided the flame into two types, and that is the luminous flame and non-luminous flame. Okay, we can write it that depending on what basis we have divided, depending upon the oxygen available depending upon the oxygen available for burning, flames are of two types. The first one is the luminous and the second one is the non-luminous. Okay, luminous and non-luminous. These are the two types of the flame. Let us start with that of the non-luminous and then we will understand that of the luminous, students. What happened in case of the non-luminous? So as the name suggested itself that non-luminous, luminous means what? Light. So which do not burn with a bright light, that is called as a non-luminous. Basically what happened, the kind of a color of the flame shown by this type of a flame, it means the non-luminous flame, is the blue one. And if it is a blue, so it is not producing a sufficient amount of a light, and that is why we had given the name, and that is the non-luminous. You see that here sufficient amount of oxygen is available for the burning of the substance, and because of that it will produce a blue flame. Remember that producing of a blue flame in case of the non-luminous substances, it is because of the sufficient amount of oxygen available for the substance. So we can write it that a non-luminous flame is produced when the supply of oxygen is sufficient. Oxygen for combustion is sufficient. Okay, when the supply of the oxygen for the process of the combustion is sufficient. Okay, so it is blue in color. It is blue in color. Then the next one, it emits a very little amount of a light. Okay, it emits little light. Then the temperature is very high. Obviously, its temperature is very high. Why is it so, students? It is because temperature is very high. So you see that since sufficient amount of oxygen is available, so what will happen? It will show the complete combustion. And you know that when it is a complete combustion, it will produce a lot of energy, including light and carbon dioxide. So if it is producing a lot of heat, so obviously the temperature will be very high. So we can say that a non-luminous flame is what? It is blue in color, emit little light, and the temperature is also very high. So these are what? These are some of the properties of that of the non-luminous substances. The next one is here that it does not leave any kind of a residue, and the reason that since the sufficient amount of oxygen will be there, so it will show the complete combustion. We have seen in case of a complete combustion that oxygen burn with all the substance, means burn with the fuel completely, ultimately no residue will be there. If a less amount of oxygen will be there, so half of the fuel will burn while the rest of will remain as it is, so we will say that the residue will be there. But here, since the oxygen will burn with the or it will combine or burn with that of all the fuel present there, so ultimately no residue will be left. So we can say that it does not leave any residue because of complete combustion of fuel. Okay, so a non-luminous flame, these are some of the properties. Let me tell you that non-luminous flame, it is produced when the supply of the oxygen is sufficient. Then since the oxygen supply is more, so what will happen? It will produce a blue color, and blue color, so there will be less emission of the light, but the temperature will be very high. Now you see, student, that it emits little light, and because of that only we had given the name to it, that is known as the non-luminous. Luminous means which produces light. Okay, and which produces less amount of a light, we will include them into the non-luminous substances. Okay, so I hope you have understood the non-luminous flame. Now let us moving on and see the next type of a flame, and that is known as the luminous flame. What happens in case of the luminous flame, and what are the different properties in case of the luminous flame? Now see, luminous flame is produced, you can say that this luminous flame is produced when the supply of the oxygen is not sufficient. Okay, when the supply of the oxygen for combustion is insufficient. If it is insufficient. Okay, so here the supply of oxygen is less, or the supply of oxygen will be insufficient. Now what kind of a color it will be produced, students? So it is the flame produced, it is yellow in color. Okay, it is yellow in color. That was blue in color, and it is yellow in color. Next one is that it is brighter than the blue flame. So it is brighter than the blue flame. Brighter than that of the blue flame. Then the next one is that temperature is comparatively lower. Its temperature is comparatively lower than the non-luminous flame. Temperature is comparatively is comparatively lower than the non-luminous flame. Now here, since oxygen supply is less, so obviously it will not going to burn, or it will not going to show the process of a combustion with the fuel or with the substance totally, but some of the residue will be left. So we will say that in case of a luminous flame, it does leave residue because of the incomplete combustion. Okay, so we can write it that it leaves black soot. It leaves black soot. Leaves black soot and other residue. Due to incomplete combustion. Due to incomplete combustion. Incomplete combustion of fuel. Incomplete combustion of fuel. So basically what student, these are some of the properties of the luminous flame. Now you see what happened in case of a luminous flame. It is produced, this flame is produced when the supply of the oxygen for combustion will be less, it is insufficient. Then the next one, that it is yellow in color. Basically we have seen in case of the non-luminous it is blue in color, but here it is yellow in color. Now you see that since it is brighter, yellow and blue, you can see that the color, it is more brighter. The yellow color is more brighter than that of the blue flame. So that is why we had given the name to it, and that is known as luminous. Don't get confused. We have divided the flame, okay, on the basis of the availability of the oxygen, and obviously we had given the name on the basis of the color. If more supply of the oxygen will be there, it will produce the blue color, and blue color is what? It is a little bit dull as compared to that of the yellow color. So we will say that was a non-luminous flame. Okay, it was not brighter one, but here maybe the sufficient supply of oxygen is not there in case of a luminous, but it is producing yellow color flame which is brighter than that of the blue color flame. So we will say that it is what? It is a luminous flame since it is brighter. Here, the temperature is comparatively lower than that of the non-luminous, because there the whole amount of substance will be converted into that of the heat or energy. But in case of a non-luminous, but in case of a luminous, here what happened? The less amount of oxygen, and due to which complete combustion will not occur. So ultimately, less amount of heat will be released. Okay, while if less amount of a heat will be released along with the carbon monoxide, and you know that it will produce black soot, and other different kind of a residue will also be left along with that of the luminous flame. So it happens again because of the incomplete combustion. So we have seen the complete and incomplete combustion, and you can see that on the basis of the same property we will see the different kind of a flame, and because of that we have divided the flame also on the basis of the oxygen availability. So combustion is also divided into two depending upon the oxygen availability, that is incomplete and a complete combustion. The same kind of a property will be shown by that of the flame, that is luminous and non-luminous, depending upon the availability of the oxygen. We have divided them into two depending upon the color, because if oxygen will be less, color will be more brighter, yellow in color. If the oxygen will be more, so color will be more, color will be less brighter, it will be blue in color. Okay. Okay, so whenever the question will be asked that write the difference between luminous and non-luminous, I hope you all have understood that what is a luminous and a non-luminous flame. Now let us try to understand that how candle used to burn. Basically student, when we see about the candle, so basically when we see the candle is made up of a hydrocarbon, and when you burn it, this hydrocarbon used to get converted into vapor, and melted wax will rises up and finally get converted into that of the vapor. Okay, so we will discuss about that in case of a candle flame also, how the candle flame is divided into different types of the flame. Okay.